Okay, welcome everybody. We have saved the best for last today. Dr. Joseph Honigman is with us from the Weiner Wellness Center. He's an amazing practitioner there, and he is going to be talking to us about don't stress out, how to manage stress and have it work in your favor. So Dr. Honigman, thank you for being here. I'm going to pull your PowerPoint up and have you take it away.
Thanks, Tracy. So everyone, welcome to my talk today on how to manage stress and have it work in your favor. I am Dr. Joseph Honigman. I'm a functional wellness nutritionist and a lifestyle-oriented doctor, and I have approximately 40 years experience in the natural health care. I use safe, natural, effective methods to optimize the health of your whole body. I've specialized training in functional wellness and nutrition, integrative medicine, stress management, such as relaxation and meditation techniques, and I also hold a Master of Public Health degree with a major in epidemiology. My goal for you, as well as for me, is healthy transformation of body, mind, and spirit. To make an appointment with me, call 412-922-9355. That's actually 412-922-WELL. So to begin with, we're going to start with a definition of stress. And I know there are many, but this will suit our purposes. Stress is a feeling of mental, emotional, and physical tension. It can be brought on by anything that causes you to be frustrated, angry, nervous, scared, or afraid. And it can come from something external. So the trigger might be having financial difficulties or being chased by a wild animal. One is a physical, external trigger. The other is an emotional trigger. It could also be coming from something internal. The trigger may be that you've been told that you have a serious illness. However, whatever the trigger, it's important to differentiate between chronic and acute stress. Chronic stress is long-term and it's destructive in nature. Acute stress is temporary and it can be very useful. Acute stress can keep us from procrastinating, enabling us to get things done in a timely manner. In fact, stress can even be a life-saving message. It enables us to react quickly to life-threatening situations. This is commonly known as the fight or flight response. It's what enables you to jump quickly out of the way of an oncoming car or run away from some angry, crazy person coming after you, meaning to do you harm. And the changes that occur in your mind and physiology happen so quickly, you're not even aware of it. What if you had to actually process that information? Oh, a car is coming my way. What should I do? Should I jump out of the way? Or, oh, look, somebody's got a baseball bat and it's raised and they're coming my way. I wonder if they're going to play baseball or if they're going to use that bat on me. So obviously, that's not a good solution. This has got to happen without even thinking about it. So how does the stress response get things done? So whenever you're experiencing being frustrated, angry, nervous, scared, or afraid, that message is sent to the amygdala. And the amygdala, and the name sounds fancy, but what it means is almond shape. So we have an almond-shaped area of the brain that interprets these emotions and sends a distress signal to the hypothalamus. And you can think of the hypothalamus as a command center. And the hypothalamus is going to activate both our sympathetic nervous system and our pituitary gland almost simultaneously. The sympathetic nervous system acts as the on switch. You can think of it as a pedal, actually as the gas pedal in a car. And it's going to trigger the fight or flight response. It's going to provide you with a burst of energy, which is absolutely, necessary if you have to react very quickly to a potentially dangerous situation. It also is activating our pituitary gland, which activates our adrenal glands. These are glands that sit on top of our kidneys. And with that stimulation of the adrenal gland, that's going to result in an increase in cortisol and adrenaline, which increases your heart rate, pushes blood to your muscles, heart, and other vital organs, increases your blood pressure, enabling plenty of fresh oxygen to get to your brain so that you can make quicker decisions. Along with that, extra fuel will be released in the form of glucose. And of course, that's energy. And it's going to be sent to your large muscles so that you can fight or run. That's wonderful for a fight or flight situation. In fact, for dangerous situations, it can be life-saving. Excuse me. Well, I have a swig of water. After the threat is passed, the parasympathetic nervous system now acts like a brake. It promotes the rest response that calms the body down. When I think of the situation of the fight or flight with the stimulation of the sympathetic nervous system, and then when the threat's over, the parasympathetic nervous system kicks in and promotes the rest response, I think of a pride of lions. Yes, a pride of lions going after a herd of antelope. And they pick out the weak old one and they catch it and have it for dinner. The rest of the herd are now far enough away that they're not worried about the lions anymore. They know they can outrun them. So basically what's taking place is they're just resting, on the grass. They may have a lookout or two to make sure that the lions aren't creeping up on them, but the threat is over. Their sympathetic nervous system has now been replaced by the parasympathetic nervous system, and they're actually at rest. Unfortunately, with humans, the mind and body can overreact to emotional stressors that are not physically dangerous. And that can result in ongoing stress, and that can negatively impact almost every aspect of your health, and mine as well. Examples of stressors that can result in chronic stress include death of a loved one, divorce or breakup, subjected to physical or emotional abuse, financial distress, family difficulties, having to take care of someone else, such as a sick family member, feeling pressured or unhappy at school or work. Are these all good reasons to be stressed? Yeah, most of them are. But if they become chronic, it's not working in your favor. If they're acute and they're helping you to get things done in a timely manner, then it's good for you. But if this becomes an ongoing stress, this can result in serious damage to both your mental and physical health. So how do you know that you may be traveling down that road of chronic stress? I call it the rabbit hole of chronic stress. And it seems to just go on and on forever. So it's relatively easy to fall down this rabbit hole, but it's a lot harder to get back up. So are you experiencing an increase in anxiety, brain fog, memory lapses, and unable to focus? Do you have an increase in mood swings, including irritability and being quicker to anger? Does it take you longer to get to sleep, even though you're tired, or have difficulty staying asleep? What about extra weight around your belt line? Are you finding that tire around your gut is getting bigger? Do you have an increase in high blood pressure? And it's not just temporary, it's now ongoing. This next is very interesting. Pay attention. Do you have symptoms of a low thyroid? such as an inability to lose weight and an increase in fatigue, even though when you take your thyroid numbers, they all come back normal. That can be a sign of chronic stress and a sign of dysfunction of your adrenal glands. Do you get sick more often than before, or does it take you longer to recover? Can chronic stress be the reason? And I think this is so important. I actually have another whole slide to go over it, maybe two. In the beginning stages of prolonged chronic stress, the increase in cortisol decreases a part of your immune response that's very important in fighting viruses and infections from bacteria. So you may begin to get sick more often, or it may take you longer to recover. Why is that? Well, cortisol is a very powerful anti-inflammatory. And it's absolutely essential for our health. In fact, without cortisol, we would die. What it does is it helps to regulate inflammation so that it doesn't get out of hand, so that it doesn't cause destruction to your own tissues. But with ongoing stress, we're now having an inappropriate release of cortisol. And as it decreases our ability to have an appropriate immune response, we're going to be less able to fight off viruses and bacteria. On the other hand, with long-term chronic stress, your immune system can become resistant to the anti-inflammatory effects of cortisol, or your cortisol levels can drop. This sort of reminds me of a type 2 diabetic, where they first become resistant to their insulin, and then after a while cannot produce enough insulin. So in this situation, what's going on is that your immune cells are becoming resistant to the cortisol. So they're becoming resistant to the anti-inflammatory effect. So you're going to have what? An increase in inflammation with stiffness and achiness in your muscles and joints, along with general exhaustion. Actually, research indicates if you have a low functioning adrenal gland or adrenal glands, you have an increased risk of developing an autoimmune disease, especially autoimmune thyroid disease, rheumatoid arthritis, and lupus. In fact, I have found that with many of my patients who do have autoimmune disease, they have either recently they've recently had a very, very stressful period in their life, or they've had one, maybe even a couple years ago, but it went on for a long time, depleting their cortisol levels. Either way, this is not a good thing. Either too much or too little cortisol results in immune system dysfunction. And that brings us to late stage stress, adrenal fatigue. You're burned out. This is the exhaustion phase of chronic stress. The main cause of adrenal fatigue is continual low-level stress. It just goes on and on and on. So, do you have difficulty staying asleep? Are you tired when you wake up? Even if you're getting 7, 8, or 9 hours of sleep, this is the exhaustion phase. And it's associated with a lack of energy, loss of stamina, which can progress to profound chronic fatigue. You're burned out. And often along with that comes an increase in tension, irritability, brain fog, impaired concentration, and you're still at risk for that increased weight around your waistline. The tire still gets bigger, whether you have too little cortisol or too much. So how can we turn stress into something good and have it work in our advantage? Stress in and of itself is neither good or bad for our health. It's how we interpret it and how we respond that makes the difference. How you view stress determines how it affects you. So let's change the view. What if we look at stress as our ally, telling us that something's not right and needs to be dealt with, that there's something that needs our attention? Then we can use it as a motivator to get things done in a timely manner and improve our lives. We can use stress to learn something new about ourselves, bring out our creative nature, cultivate mindfulness, responding to our challenges in a more peaceful and relaxed state of mind. I'm not saying it's easy. Being able to handle stress and make it work in your favor is a process. It's not an event. But as we get better and better, it can help us grow and be better. So we don't want to eliminate stress. Remember the serenity prayer? God, grant me the serenity and strength to accept the things that I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. That last sentence, I would probably say is maybe the most important sentence. We need to have that wisdom. So let's cultivate mindfulness to help us manifest that wisdom. And say we have manifested that wisdom. What if we're still unable to change or take advantage of the stressor that we're facing? Simply accept that it's there. Don't bury it. Don't ignore it. Rather, cultivate presence and peace. As a result, you will be more productive, healthier, and better able to change that which you can. I often say to people, look, if being stressed out all the time would help you with your situation, I'd say go for it, right? You know what? Oh, I'm stressed. But you know what? The more I'm stressed, the longer I'm stressed, the easier it is to find my solution. But we know that's not the case. Acute stress is wonderful. It helps us get motivated. It can help us be more creative and learn more about ourselves. But chronic stress, that's different. It can negatively impact every aspect of our being. So let's find a way to be more mindful. And first, we're going to go with the definition. Mindfulness may be defined as a moment-to-moment awareness of one's experience without judgment. Calmly acknowledging, accepting one's feelings, thoughts, and bodily sensations. It's okay to say, I'm stressed out. I feel emotional tension. I feel physical tension. The first thing you have to do is be aware that it exists and then accept it. This could help us to not be overly reactive or overwhelmed by what's going on around us. We can promote mindfulness by, one very good way is through diaphragmatic breathing. By breathing deeply into your belly at a slower rate, you can send signals to the brain that the threat is indeed over. And this will activate the parasympathetic nervous system, the brake, the off switch. And it can help us to relax and digest, because the parasympathetic nervous system is sometimes actually called the relax and digest part of our nervous system, while the sympathetic nervous system is often called the fight or flight response. Now, there are several different techniques and methods of diaphragmatic breathing. You can Google, use the search engine of your choice, and key in videos for relaxing breath or videos for diaphragmatic breathing techniques. You'll have lots of different choices that you can tune into and learn from. I'm going to actually demonstrate one of the techniques for you, and it's called the 4-7-8 relaxing breath. I'm actually going to take off my suit coat to do that. And hopefully the wire doesn't come with me and knock everything over, because that'll give me a reason to be stressed out. Okay. You can do this many different ways. You can do it standing. You can do it lying. You could also do it sitting down. I think for training purposes, I'm going to do it standing up because it'll be easier to see my belly. With this technique, we're going to breathe in through the nose for 4 seconds. We're going to hold our breath for 7, and then we're going to breathe out through the mouth for 8 seconds. And when we breathe out through the mouth, it's going to make a whooshing sound that you may be able to hear. We want to keep our shoulders down and relaxed as we do this. Only our belly is going to move. Our chest is going to remain still. We're going to keep our tongue at the roof of our mouth. Yes, we are, for this particular technique. Now, some of the techniques, that's not necessary, but for this one, we're going to follow the traditional way of doing it. So, I'm going to do it twice. Normally, you're going to go through this breath 3-4 times, but I'll do it twice. The first time, I'm going to count for you so you get an idea of the rhythm. The second time, I'm going to do it without counting and without placing my hands on my chest and my belly. But I want you to notice that I'm filling my belly like a balloon and my chest remains still. All right, so if I'm going to count, I can just leave one on my belly. So here we go. We're going to breathe in for 4. I'm going to do it one more time, seated. And let's see if we can get a view of my belly. I think we can. Okay. One more time. This time, I'm going to add some affirmations at the end. I'm in a relaxed and focused state of mind. I'm open and receptive to new ideas. I'm well able, capable for the task at hand. And with your grace, it is so. So that is one technique. When you do this, your back should be straight, whether it's sitting, standing, even lying. You can do it in all 3 positions. You can do pretty much all diaphragmatic breathing in 3 positions. That's just one example. You don't have to hold for 7 and breathe out for 8. For some of you, that's going to be too much. You could do a 4, 5, 6, a 3-5-6. You could do a 4-6-7. Do what works for you. Also, I recommend that you keep track of your count. If you don't keep track of your count and also your reps, your mind can wander. And you don't want that to happen. You want to come back to your breath. Also, you could be sitting there going, why am I doing this? This is a waste of time. I got so many things that I could be doing right now, and I'm wasting my time with this stupid breath thing. Get it? We don't want the chatter in our mind to ruin our peace of mind. So hopefully those suggestions will be of benefit for you. And remember, there are many different types of diaphragmatic breathing. Okay. So what else can we do to better handle stress? We can be active and exercise. And why? Because being active can boost your feel-good endorphins and improve your mood. If you got feel-good endorphins circulating through you, you're going to be less stressed. Try yoga and Tai Chi, which are very helpful in achieving mindfulness and that relaxed, focused state of mind. Yoga, well, first of all, there are many different types of yoga, but for it to be yoga, you have to be paying attention to your breath, and being mindful is also a part of it. Tai Chi is actually movement with mindfulness and breath, watching your breath. Also, prayer, meditation, and affirmations can be of benefit. I do all of these. Prayer, meditation, and affirmations. I try to make them part of my daily routine. Practice Shinrin-yoku. I just love saying that name, Shinrin-yoku. It's actually a Japanese term that translates into forest bathing, which is a countermeasure to the time that we devote in front of a screen. Basically, this means spending some time in nature, cultivating presence, and paying attention to the sights and the smells and the sounds that surround you. Forest bathing can be done anywhere there are trees or nature. And there are mental and spiritual benefits to forest bathing. In fact, it can help you unplug from technology and slow you down. It can bring you into the present moment to de-stress and relax you. Similar to meditation, forest bathing can heighten your awareness and focus while simultaneously allowing your mind to clear and unload the stress. Time spent in nature can improve creative problem-solving performance. A walk in the woods can foster a sense of relatedness or connection with the living world and also increase our empathy. I find this does so for me. This is a photo that I took during one of my experiences with forest bathing. I actually felt that this particular deer and I were experiencing Shinrin-yoku together. And the scientific research has shown that with forest bathing, you can have a decrease in cortisol levels, that there's a decrease in stress-related physical ailments, including headaches, asthma, and high blood pressure, that there's an increase in the parasympathetic nervous system, the relax and digest part of our nervous system, that's going to prompt rest, conserve energy, slow down our heart rate, increased intestinal and glandular activity. It can result in an improved immune function and improved mental performance, mood, and cognition. Forest bathing is not exercise, hiking, jogging, or yard work. Now, is exercise good for you? Yeah. Are hiking, jogging, and yard work good for you? Yes. Will they relieve stress? Yes. They're just not forest bathing. Forest bathing is not accompanied by electronics, cell phone, iPads, etc. This is a time to get away from the electronics. In fact, I think it was in the 1980s, pretty sure, the Japanese made a big deal of this because they found that their teenagers were spending an inordinate amount of time in front of their computers and using their phones, their iPads, etc. And so they came up with, no, you really need to balance this. Get outside a little bit. Spend some time in the forest. Spend some time in our beautiful gardens and just be. Well, it turns out that American teenagers also spend a lot of time with their electronics. In fact, they spend 9 hours a day with digital technology, entertaining themselves with streaming video, listening to music, etc. So how do you forest bathe? Well, forest bathing can be done in any season or any weather. Forest bathing can be combined with activities such as yoga and Tai Chi and picnicking. In fact, I would think this is a great time to be able to practice Tai Chi, out in nature, movement with breath and mindfulness in the forest or in the garden. Same thing with yoga. And sure, you can picnic because if you're in a relaxed, focused state of mind, you're digesting your food better and you can still be mindful while you eat. Leave your devices behind or at least turned off and put away. You can bring a journal to write in, some snacks, a beverage, something to sit on. Find a spot that you like, but don't overthink it. It's not like, oh, where's my power spot? I'm going to go find my power spot and sit in it. If you got to think about it, it's probably not your power spot. Just go with the flow. If it seems like a good place, sit down and enjoy. Or go for a walk. If you don't like where you're walking, you can always walk somewhere else. And if you don't like where you're sitting, you can always get up and find another spot. But allow yourself to wander mindfully. Take in the sights, sounds, textures, and smells all around you without analyzing or judging any of it. Just be. All who that wander are not lost. Breathe deeply and allow yourself to feel nature. Just 20 minutes a day spent in green spaces has an enhancing effect on vitality. This is a photo I took at the Pittsburgh Botanic Gardens, and this was a wonderful moment of forest bathing for me. This is another moment of forest bathing. It seems like I actually had a connection with this particular deer. We were both looking at each other and pretty much at peace with the moment. And there are more ways to manage stress. You can try journaling. Now, I'm not an expert on journaling, so what I'm going to recommend is that you read online the article, 83 Benefits of Journaling for Depression, Anxiety, and Stress. For some people, this technique is effective. Try positive affirmations. Use them in your daily routine, such as, I am centered and I trust in the power of the divine. I am relaxed, focused, and mindful. And there are many, many, many different ways that you can incorporate affirmations into your daily routine. I actually have a few pages of them. I don't read all of them every day, although there are days that I will go through all of them. But I'll usually pick 3 or 4, maybe 5, and I will say them out loud because I believe that saying them out loud is actually more effective than just reading them. it sets my intention. And I do usually end with a prayer. You don't have to, but I do. I'll always say something like, thank you, Lord, and with your grace, it is so. So it's kind of like combining prayer with affirmations. Take a media break. Go a week without negative news. Eliminate the radio and TV news, the internet, newspapers. I mean, how many times do you have to listen to the same negative news in a day? Right? I mean, in the first 15 minutes, you're hearing all the horrible things that are happening. Do you have to keep hearing all of them? It just isn't logical to me. Sure, I mean, if there's a major event, fine. Spend some time, catch up on what's happening. Don't be ignorant. But most of the time, this is just negativity that's being said aloud over and over again. And half the time, well, most of the time, you're not getting the full truth anyway. You're getting the part that's going to increase ratings. You can also try essential oils for mood, anxiety, and stress. This is something that I like to do. All of the following essential oils can be used for their calming effects to reduce anxiety, stress, and improve positive feelings. I have all of these essential oils: bergamot, chamomile, lavender, sweet orange, lemongrass, patchouli, and ylang ylang. I've included a formula that you can use and put in your diffuser. It's a combination of 4 to 6 drops of lavender, 3 to 5 drops of patchouli or sandalwood, and 2 to 3 drops of sweet orange or bergamot. I used this formula yesterday, and I found it to be helpful, and it smelled really good. I mean, look, even if it doesn't work to get rid of your stress, it's going to smell good most of the time. And it's a lot safer than, say, using incense or a scented candle. Also, what you can do with these essential oils is you can dilute them. I dilute them in organic coconut oil, jojoba oil, even almond oil. And you can put it right on your skin. You can smell it throughout the day. It's another way to get the benefits of essential oils. And there are many other benefits to essential oils. But for now, we're just focusing on a few, a little more than a few, that you can use to help improve your mood and decrease your stress. Then there's also something called cognitive behavioral therapy. We're really born with only 2 fears: the fear of falling and the fear of loud noises. Now, both of those are essential to our survival. So it's probably a good thing that we're afraid of falling, or we're afraid of loud noises such as a tiger or an enemy, another human screaming at us. Almost all other fears, or maybe all other fears, are an adaptive behavior. They are adaptive behaviors that we have learned to avoid a dangerous situation or an unpleasant situation. Is that useful? Yes. But they are learned. And sometimes what we're learning works against us. Sometimes the fear is actually a false expectation appearing real. Fear, false expectation appearing real. I wish I had a $100 bill for every time I had a false expectation appearing real. So, how could we handle this? Well, almost simultaneously to the fight or flight reaction, there's another reaction that goes through to your higher cortical center in your brain, which is the reasoning response that can actually override the fight or flight response. And we can use that to bring us back into a more calm, focused state of mind. CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, is a type of psychotherapy that helps one to reevaluate their thoughts and change them regarding a stressor or stressors to alter unwanted behavioral patterns or treat a mood disorder. In other words, if the fear is not real or we're overreacting to it, we can reevaluate our thoughts regarding it and we can change them. Now, many of the techniques that I've gone over can help you do that. However, you may need to work with a trained cognitive behavioral therapist who will help you adopt effective therapies to deal with stressful thoughts, events, emotions with more confidence, control, and ease. So the combination of everything that we've talked about is to help you handle stress with more confidence, control, and ease. So let's put it all together. Early in the morning is a good time to do this, but certainly you can do it throughout the day. Diaphragmatic breathing, meditation, say your affirmations aloud. And for those of you so inclined, don't forget to pray. Exercise. Let's get those feel-good endorphins circulating in your body. So do something you enjoy, and that will definitely increase your feel-good endorphins. Maybe try some yoga or Tai Chi. These have been scientifically proven to reduce stress. Maybe journaling is right for you. I know for some it's a very effective tool. I advocate forest bathing. Get away from the electronics. Put your phone down. Spend some time in nature. Be mindful while you're there. Wander. You're not lost. You're experiencing the beauty. You're experiencing the wonder. It can help you de-stress. And by the way, you can do this in your own backyard. You don't need a frick park. Try essential oils. They can be very helpful. And many of them smell wonderful. Try cognitive behavioral therapy if you feel that this could be of benefit to you. It's another way of being able to reevaluate what's going on around you and to be able to look at stress from a different view. Your diet and lifestyle, what you eat, certainly affects your mood. In fact, we know that the vast majority of serotonin, up to 90% or more, is actually being produced in your gut. And it takes good bacteria to help produce it. Over 50% of the dopamine that's produced is produced in your gut. And these are both essential neurotransmitters that are necessary to improve your mood in the right amounts. And don't forget, there are targeted supplements that can be of use. And I do use these. First, let's talk about the adrenal glands. If you have ongoing chronic stress, your adrenal glands have taken a beating. And we want to be kind to them. We want to help them. So the first supplement that I'm recommending is something called Adrenamax 3. The herbs in Adrenamax 3 have been used to help with both hyper and hypo function of the adrenal glands. Hence, they are called adaptogens because they can adapt to whether or not you're producing too much cortisol in the beginning stages of chronic ongoing stress, or not enough because you've had it for so long, your cortisol levels have dropped. Ingredients include Asian ginseng, Siberian ginseng, both which have been shown to reduce fatigue and stress, improve mood, attention, and immune function. Rhodiola rosea. Rhodiola rosea has been shown to decrease fatigue and mental fog while improving energy levels. Rhodiola can also increase your immune function and decrease anxiety and also increase concentration. Now, Rhodiola rosea can be taken independently as an herb. Adrenal Max is a wonderful synergistic formula, but rhodiola can also be taken independently. If you do, I recommend that you take it during the morning or during the afternoon because it is energizing. And if you take it in the evening, you may have a little difficulty getting to sleep. Another wonderful herb in this synergistic formula is ashwagandha. Ashwagandha is known to be soothing and calming. It improves memory, it reduces inflammation, and it's good for anxiety and or sleep issues. And this too can be taken independently as an independent herb supplement. This one can be taken in the evening to relax or before you go to sleep to help you sleep. Now we come to Glycyrrhiza glabra, commonly known as licorice root. And this is a good herb for chronic fatigue, for the burnout phase. It assists with recovery from long-term stress because it helps your cortisol circulate longer. So if you have less cortisol, it's going to help that cortisol be more functional, last longer. However, licorice root can raise your blood pressure. So if you take it independently, do it so with caution if you have blood pressure. In fact, I would recommend that you do not take it if you have high blood pressure. This is part of a synergistic formula. So you could still try the Adrenamax. I would recommend starting at very low doses and see how it affects your blood pressure. And if you're having no problem, we could always increase it, but we are taking your blood pressure along the way. Finally, Adrenamax 3 contains cordyceps mycelium. This is a mushroom that can improve energy and immune function. And you will find this not only in this wonderful synergistic formula, but you will find it in many immune function, building the immune function formulas. There is a warning that goes with this. Do not take if you're pregnant, nursing, have fibrocystic breast disease. If you have high blood pressure, we're going to start you at very low doses. If it's very, very high, we probably will skip this, at least for now. If you're taking antidepressive drugs or antihypertensive medications, or if you have a licorice allergy. All right, now we're coming to two supplements that I take on a daily basis. B vitamins and magnesium glycinate. Cortisol raising stress most likely is going to deplete your B vitamins. And each of your B vitamins is essential in varying quantities throughout the adrenal cascade. So the B vitamins are necessary for the recovery and for the function of your adrenal glands. But even more, they're necessary for the production of neurotransmitters, which regulate your mood and conduct messages through your brain. So they're important for your adrenal glands, those glands that sit on top of your kidneys, and for your brain, and for it to better handle stress and to interpret stress. I'm recommending Super B Complete. We have many types, in our store at the Weiner Wellness Center, and many of them are excellent. But for now, I am recommending Super B Complete because that's the one that I'm taking. And Super B Complete utilizes the most biologically effective forms of many B vitamins. For some people, I will actually recommend Nutritional Frontiers multivitamin instead, because the Nutritional Frontiers brand of multivitamins contains a lot of the B vitamins. You know, the cheaper versions of a multivitamin are not going to contain nearly enough B vitamins for your health. Not so with this particular formula. And you could also get all of the other wonderful vitamins, minerals, and phytonutrients that are in the multivitamin. That being said, I'm still doing a targeted response with my Super B Complete. Magnesium glycinate. So why magnesium glycinate? There's all kinds of wonderful magnesium out there. Well, we know that magnesium has a calming effect that is relaxing. And, you know, don't we take magnesium if we have muscle cramps to help relax our muscles? But we're also getting a relaxing effect due to the glycine in the magnesium. And the combination can help reduce anxiety and produce a better sleep. And plus, magnesium glycinate is very well tolerated. Another plus for that. Now let's go to our brain. What can we do for our brain and the neurotransmitters? But also our gut as well, right? Because the majority of neurotransmitters are where? Or at least serotonin. I shouldn't say all neurotransmitters, but the majority of our serotonin and dopamine, two very important neurotransmitters for our mood, in our gut. That's where most of it is produced. The ingredients in Calm Day are designed to support the neurotransmitters dopamine and serotonin and gamma-aminobutyric acid, commonly known as GABA. So many of you may find saying GABA is a lot easier than saying gamma-aminobutyric acid. Serotonin plays an important role in sleep, mood, and our ability to relax. So if you're having a problem with serotonin, it might not just be that you can't relax. It might be that you can't sleep as well. Dopamine plays a role in memory, learning, and pleasure, and it helps you feel motivated, excited, enthusiastic, and feeling good. And if you're feeling good and you're enthusiastic and you're excited about it, that certainly can be helpful in improving your mood and decreasing stress. And Calm Day is going to increase dopamine in a helpful manner. Now, dopamine is not always increased in a helpful manner, right? Sugar can do it. If you're addicted to sugar, what happens is you're getting an overabundance of dopamine, and it's saying to you, oh, this is great. I feel good. It's making me feel excited. Have some more. And slowly you become resistant to the dopamine, so you eat more and more sugar, which increases inflammation in your body and messes with your mood. But in this case, we're improving our mood. Now let's get to GABA, gamma-aminobutyric acid. This is an inhibitory neurotransmitter, and it's inhibitory in the very best sense of the word. It's going to weaken or slow down the signals that are causing excessive chatter in your brain. It's going to quiet the noise. Don't let the chatter in your brain interfere with your peace of mind. And gamma-aminobutyric acid can help decrease the chatter. It plays a very important role in the decrease in anxiety. Calm Day is designed to support all three of these neurotransmitters. So it helps to improve problems with stress, anxiety, and sleep. Calm Day also includes an ingredient called L-theanine. And L-theanine in and of itself can be used independently to help you achieve a relaxed and focused state of mind. And if you have a relaxed, focused state of mind, again, it's going to help you handle stress more effectively. L-theanine is actually an extract of green tea, and it does its job by doing, guess what? Improving our ability to produce gamma aminobutyric acid. And finally, there is sleep time. And by its name, you know what it's going to do. Sleep time contains everything that calm day has. I just knocked over my water, but it didn't spill. Calm day contains everything that we just spoke of, but sleep time is going to have everything that calm day does, but it's also going to include something called 5-HTP, which is 5-hydroxytryptophan. And 5-hydroxytryptophan is a precursor of serotonin. So it's going to help you produce more serotonin. And of course, that's going to help you regulate our body's wake and sleep cycle. Remember, serotonin helps you with sleep. And it can effectively cross the blood-brain barrier. So it's effective. Conditions known to be helped by 5-HTP include insomnia, depression, fibromyalgia, headaches, even weight gain, because it can help decrease stress eating. However, do not take with the selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, such as Lexapro, Prozac, and Zoloft. Sleep time also contains melatonin, and that's a hormone which, amongst its many functions, regulates our sleep and wake cycle. Now, I'm recommending right now 2 capsules 1 hour before bedtime. You know, many people have come to me and they say, I've tried melatonin and it don't work. It doesn't help me sleep. But now we're actually including therapeutic dosage of melatonin in a synergistic formula, along with 5-HTP, a little bit of L-theanine, and other effective ingredients that combined, I believe, make it a much more effective supplement for sleep. Try it, see if it works. You got nothing to lose. I mean, you'll know if it works by the first bottle. And this is the supplement summary. Calm day. You can take 2 capsules 1 to 2 times per day. Sleep time. Take 2 capsules approximately 1 hour before bedtime. Super B complete. 1 to 2 capsules per day with food. Magnesium glycinate. 2 to 6 capsules per day in divided doses with food. Adrenamax. Take 2 to 6 capsules per day in divided doses with food. Notice I'm a little vague with my dosages. So what I'm actually recommending is start with the very lowest dosages. I'm actually going to recommend that you see a practitioner, and I'm going to volunteer to be that so that I can give you what I believe to be the correct dosages for you. And, I'm going to do that by looking at your family history, by, listening to you very carefully, go over your individual circumstances. And, I can even muscle test you if we want for the correct dosages as well. So we'll use a combination of many different things to figure out what's right for you. While these are great supplements to help decrease stress and improve your mood, and get rid of adrenal dysfunction, they are by no means the only supplements. And we may change them around a little bit, again, depending on your history and your needs. So, look, we know that anxiety and stress can be very difficult to handle. And I think all of us would agree that we live in very stressful times. In fact, I don't remember another time that's been more stressful than this. Possibly back in the late 1960s during the Vietnam War. But other than that, there's not too many other times that have been this stressful. And if you don't have a strategy and the skills to effectively deal with stress, you may find yourself tumbling down that what seems to be never ending rabbit hole of chronic stress. On the other hand, with proper knowledge and the right skills, you can stop the tumbling. You don't have to go down to begin with. And if you've already begun the descent, I can provide the tools, the ladder to help you get back up. You can learn to have stress work in your favor and prevent it from ever being chronic, or if you're already experiencing chronic stress, you can learn how to leave it behind or at least better manage it. Stress has been an ongoing journey for me, learning how to better handle it. Let me use my professional knowledge and my personal knowledge to help you effectively deal with stress. I'd be glad to help. It would be my honor. Make an appointment with me. I am Dr. Honigman by calling the Weiner Wellness Center. The number, once more, is 412-922-9355. My office visits are very reasonable. Thank you for tuning in.
Thank you, Dr. Honigman. So good. And reach out to Dr. Honigman for an appointment at the Weiner Wellness Center. He is taking new patients. And great lecture. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tracy.
Great. Well, you have a wonderful day. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. And Dr. Honigman, if you want to go back through the chat and answer any of the questions, we would greatly appreciate it. We'll get Phil to help you. Okay. Thanks, guys.
Should I do this now or later?
We'll do it later. I got to jump on a meeting.
Okay. I'm sorry.
All right. No problem. See you guys. Thank you.